Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Johnny TCG video. I'm Johnny TCG. I'm excited to see you here today. Today I've got another video on the Don Quixote Pirates variant of Blue Purple Luffy and OP11. This list just won a regional a couple weeks ago. My previous video was actually a deep deck profile on this list. If you like this list, you're going to want to check that out, see some more games on the sim going over all the cards in the list. Of course, I did not make this list. I credit the original person in the video. I'll credit them again, throw them up on screen. If you like this list though, you're going to want to stay tuned for today's video where we have a matchup against Buggy, another very popular leader in the OP11 format here in the West. Before we take a look at the gameplay today, of course I have a giveaway for you. If you're new to the channel, we do a giveaway in just about every single video. Today we're going to be giving away a custom Monkey D. Luffy Don card using art from the manga. I am not the artist, I am not selling this. This is just a fun personal fan project. If you want to win this custom Don card, all you have to do is 1, leave a like, and 2, leave a comment to enter in the giveaway. If this video gets 15 likes in the first 24 hours, I'll choose a random US-based commenter and send it to you completely free. That's all you have to do, folks. And if you want to be kind, if you want to make my day, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It's free, it's easy, it helps you stay up to date with all my new videos. And who doesn't want to stay up to date with all the Johnny TCG videos, am I right? Alright, that's enough of me yapping. Let's get straight into this gameplay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we get to choose the turn order, and I'm going to take first. I think that's the move here, preventing them from doing the leader ability on their third turn with that 5 Don play. I think that's the correct move. I'm just going to have 1 Don and pass. I'm not going to play down the sugar. The reason I don't do that is because I'm going to use Gear 2 next turn, and then the next turn probably play Bon Clay, for example. There's not really much room for sugar. I'd rather keep that in hand as counter, just to have a little bit, folks. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that makes sense. They're going to start out with the Mr. 3 Galdino search, drawing the Moji 2K from starter deck 25, passing it back to us. We'll swing 6,000 into their leader. They'll take that, then we can do Gear 2 to ramp a Don as rested, passing it back to them. We're going to be at 6 Don next turn. We'll probably play down the Mr. 2 Bon Clay, maybe the sugar as well. It is thundering like crazy out there, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if you can hear it in the mic. Hopefully not. The question now is, will they establish a 4-cost body, or will they swing into my leader by giving Don to their leader? They're going to establish the Alvida, a 4-drop that lets them draw 3, trash 2. This is a solid start for them. They're going to trash the promo Buggy. That is not really that helpful in this matchup. They're also going to trash a 4-cost Buggy from starter deck 25. 6 Don for us to work with here. We are going to start with a 7,000 power leader swing. Then we'll go Mr. 2 Bon Clay into a sugar search. That seems like the move to me. They'll take that swing from our leader. We'll play down the Bon Clay, ramp it Don. Now we're going to do a sugar search. We find that 8-cost Dofi. We were lucky we found that, and we'll pass it back to them. They've got a ton of cards in hand. A pudding would be perfect right now. They're going to start out their turn by swinging 2,000 with Mr. 3 Galdino into our sugar, which we just have to let go. 6 Don left for them to work with. We could see a 6-cost Mihawk here. We could see a search and then leader ability perhaps. Hopefully they don't have that new 8-cost Croc and Mihawk card from the new starter deck, because that will greatly impact the ability of 9-cost Linlin. I'll still be able to heal, but I won't be able to put one of their bodies into their life. That is really going to be a bummer, because that is one of the best ways we can deal with the bodies they put on the board. They're going to go promo Buggy. Off promo Buggy, they'll be able to play the 6-cost Mihawk blocker. They're going to be able to draw 2, trash 1 off the Mihawk. That's a solid play for them. I will be able to put the Mihawk back to the top of their life or bottom of their life with Charlotte Linlin, which is great. Unfortunately, we can't use leader ability just yet, so we do have to just draw like normal. We will find the God Thread, which isn't too bad. That's a good way to get rid of some of their bodies, as long as they don't have that 8-cost Croc and Mihawk on the board. Now, this 7-cost promo Buggy is a real bummer, because now I can't swing with my Mr. 2 Bon Clay. That is a real shame, because that Bon Clay would be able to copy the Buggy's power of 8,000. Now, I should have played Linlin first before I swung with my leader, because they could have free blocked with the Dracula Mihawk. So a little bit of a mistake there, but not too big of a deal. 8 Don for them to work with here. They're going to start by giving 1 Don to their Alvida. They're going to be able to swing 6,000 into our leader. Before they do that, though, they're going to give 1 Don to their leader and swing 6,000 at us. This is the incorrect order to do things, and they could have gotten punished depending on whatever trigger we got. We are going to get the Noro Beam Sword trigger. That allows us to ramp a Don, but that's not really helpful in this situation, so we are not going to activate it. They're going to tap 5 for their leader ability, playing out the 8-cost Croc and Mihawk card. This is an amazing card. They're going to be able to cheat out another body, and they're going to set themselves so nicely for a 10-cost Buggy play next turn. turn. They're also going to be able to protect their bodies from being removed from the field using my 9-cost Linlen or God Thread or a Red Rock. So that's the perfect card for them to see right now. They're going to cheat out the Coretcg blocker, which isn't really too threatening. They still got a Don on their Alvida. The question is, will they swing with it? They might not, just to keep it standing and not in threat of removal next turn, but they will. They'll swing with it. We'll take that life. We get the 2k. Nothing too crazy there. Our leader ability is pretty bad this turn. All we can take is the Usohachi. We could have also taken the Onami, but that doesn't really do a lot for us. Maybe I should have taken the Onami, but I think I'd rather have the 2k counter. We're going to start out with a 6,000 power swing into their Alvida that's rested. Hopefully we can get that off the board. They are going to 2k counter out of that. Now we're going to swing 9,000 with our Charlotte Linlen. Can't swing with that Mr. Tube on Clay because of the promo Buggy. You hate that. It's so frustrating. We'll see if they block or counter out of this 9,000 power swing. I don't think there's any way they do. Now we're going to play down another Charlotte Linlen. We're going to trash a God Thread and then try to put Coretcg at the bottom of their life. Of course, they can use that Croc and Mihawk's ability, but at least it gets them to trash a card from their hand. Now we'll pass it back to them. They're at 10 Don. They're going to start by giving 1 Don to their leader, swinging 6,000 into us. I'm tempted to counter out of this with the Mr. Tube on Clay. I do have a couple of counter events in my hand and 2k counters, so I don't feel too bad about getting rid of a 1k counter. They'll tap 4 to play down the Moji blocker and then tap down another 5. Is it here, folks? Is now the moment of truth? Yep, they've got the 10-cost Buggy. They're able to bottom deck one of our Linlens. 7,000 power. Croc still can swing this turn if they so choose, and they will. They'll swing 7,000 with the Croc. I'm going to give them the Usohachi 2k, but that was a mistake. I should have given them my other 2k. Why I gave them the Usohachi 2k, that's kind of silly of me. Off of our leader ability, we find the 5-cost Nami, but that was definitely not an ideal leader ability. Definitely would prefer to have found like a Sanji into a 8-cost Dofi or a 9-cost Linlen. We're going to use God Thread here just to get them basically to trash a card from hand. If they want to let the Coretcg go too, that is perfectly fine with me, but I imagine they'll trash a card from hand just to keep that Coretcg on the board. I could have also played Nami here, but I don't really think that would have been a great play either. Easily removed, just drawing 3, bottom decking or top decking 2. I just didn't love that idea. If you think I should have went Nami though, let me know in the comments down below. They're really thinking long and hard about whether or not to trash a card to keep Coretcg. They will trash an Alvida 1k. Now we're going to swing 9,000 into the Croc and Mihawk with our Linlen. Now, if they block with Moji, they are going to be able to draw a card because they have less than 3 cards in their hand, which is a bummer. That gets them some nice card advantage. Now we're just going to swing big into the Croc. Hopefully they let it go. To my surprise, they will not let it go. They will counter out of that with all the cards in their hand. Now, I don't actually hate that, because now they can't use leader ability next turn unless they get lucky with the Sanji's Pilaf. Let's hope they don't draw Sanji's Pilaf. 1 card in hand, it's the Cross Guild Event Searcher. Off the event search, they will find the Moji blocker for starter deck 25. That is a great find for them right now. They're going to swing big into our Charlotte Linlen. I'm thinking here we do use the Noronoro Beam Sword. It will cost us 2 Don though, and I don't love that. I'm going to go with the Gum Gum Jet Gatling instead. I'm thinking I pitch the Nami while it is a 1k counter. I'm looking for more. I do find the Zorojoro off the Gum Gum Giant, and I will use that to keep this Linlen alive. If they want to get that Linlen off the board, they'll have to swing big into it again with probably their 8-cost Croc and Mihawk. I would definitely try to keep this alive just because it's the only thing that can swing into their board right now besides my leader. Of course, that Mr. Tube on Clay cannot attack because of that 7-cost promo Buggy. They're going to throw a bunch of Don on their Croc and Mihawk, swing 15,000 into our 9,000 power Linlen. We are going to Gum Gum Giant out of this. It feels really bad to do this because this means we won't be able to use our leader ability at the start of next turn, but I really want to keep this Linlen alive. We are going to get lucky and find the counter we need, so that's good news. It was a risky play. It was a questionable play, but I regret nothing. Off of our draw, we do find the Usohachi 2k counter. That's not really amazing. We do have the 8-cost Dofi, which we found off the second Gum Gum Giant. We're going to swing now 9,000 with our Linlen into their Croc and Mihawk. They let it go, which surprises me a little bit, but I guess they want to keep that Coretcg blocker to save their 10-cost Buggy. Really debating heavily here whether or not I want to play down that 8-cost Doflamingo. Getting another character on board that can attack would be really helpful. I'm also debating playing down the Usohachi just to rest that Coretcg and then swing into it perhaps. Just to get another character off their board so they can't set up another 10-cost Buggy play. I am going to go with the Don Quixote Doflamingo play, not use his ability so I can stay at 8 Don. Our Linlen will probably be getting removed here, but it is what it is. At least we established this 8-cost 9,000 power Doflamingo to swing back into their board. 2 cards in hand. We know one of them's the 2K counter Moji blocker. They're going to throw 2 down on their 10 cost Buggy, clearing the Charlotte Linlin. A little bit of a bummer, but we got good value out of her. Now they're going to throw 3 down on their leader, swing into our life. We are okay with that because we need to get some cards. They've got 5 down still left up. They might use leader ability. They might put down that Moji blocker. We did get that 5 cost Don Quixote Rosinante from our life, which isn't a great find, but it could be worse. At least that's something we can play out next turn and help us restand Don to use for counter events. They'll tap 4 Don to play down the Moji blocker and then pass it back to us. We can use leader ability. We finally find that 9 cost Sanji. This is amazing, folks. We are so back. I'm going to set the top of our deck so that I draw the Gear 2 counter event and then play the Charlotte Linlin 9 drop off the 9 cost Sanji. It's actually crazy how just one awesome turn with this leader can really change the game. We're going to be able to establish 2 9 cost bodies that are big. We're going to be able to heal a life. We're going to be able to get rid of one of their characters. 9,000 into their life. They just took the 6,000 power leader swing. They'll take the 9,000 power swing too. We're going to play out Sanji into Charlotte Linlin. We're going to trash a card from our hand. I think we should get rid of the Rosinante. It's 1k of counter, but it's worth keeping the Noronoro Beam Sword in our hand. And then we're going to put that Moji at the bottom of their life. We probably should have done that before swinging with our leader and our Dofi, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Now we're healed. We're at 3 life, and we are in a pretty good spot. They're going to use the 1 cost Event Searcher looking for a cross-skilled type card, and they'll draw the Alvida from Starter Deck 25. That lets them draw 3, trash 2. Then they're going to throw 4 Don on their 10 cost Buggy, swing into our Don Quixote Doflamingo. I am just going to let this go. 16,000 into 9,000. No way I'm going to be able to keep that alive. 5 Don left up for them still to work with. They're going to probably use leader ability here. They will. They're going to be able to get out the 8 cost Croc and Mihawk. That is a great card for them to find right now. Off of that, they're going to be able to cheat out the Alvida. Alvida letting them draw 3. They'll have to trash 2. And then with that, they'll pass it back to me. We're going to be able to use leader ability, which is awesome. Hopefully we can find like another 9 cost Sanji. That would be great. I'd also be happy with like a Nami blocker. We do have the Onami. We also have a Red Rock. We've got a Gum Gum Giant. We got Zorojoro. We got Usohachi. Folks, we've got so many good options. The Gum Gum Giant does not, Gum Gum Red Rock, pardon me, does not do us much good here because of that Croc and Mihawk. So I lean towards not taking that. I'm leaning towards the Onami or maybe even the Usohachi because it is a 2k counter. Gum Gum Giant, you can't go wrong with either, folks. Let me know what you would take in the comments down below. Maybe we place these cards at the top of our deck. And then we get to do a draw 2. I'm going to put the Usohachi at top so we can draw that. Maybe I get rid of the Gear 1 if I play down this Onami blocker. I mean, the blocker can be removed relatively easily, but it helps us get card advantage. I'm thinking here we start to swing pretty big into their board, or maybe we just go straight to life to try to end this game. Our opponent's actually running out of time, so hopefully we can finish up this game. Spoiler alert, we will, folks. Don't worry, this game's not going to end in a draw or anything because they ran out of time. We're going to start off with this 7,000 power leader swing. They will take that. Do they have a trigger? This would be interesting if they do. They will activate the cross-skilled trigger, so they're going to be able to do a search. They find the Dracula Mihawk, no counter on that, which is great news for us. Now we're just going to swing 9,000 with our Linlin into their life. They will take that swing too, folks, which is good news. Now I can swing pretty big with the Sanji, just ignoring their Buggy. They do have that blocker Moji still, or Cabbage still on the board, so it's not really worth going too crazy with my swings. 11,000 though, if they don't want to use their blocker, they're going to have to give me multiple cards. I'm going to leave plenty of Don up for our Noronoro Beam Sword, our Gear 2, etc. I let them know that we got to be fast. I don't mean to rush them, but they are just running out of time simply. This has been a long game. I've sped this up quite fast, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to play down the Onami. We draw Gum Gum Giant and the Zorojoro. I get rid of the Gear 2. I would have loved to keep the Gear 2, but I don't really think I need it. I think we have this game in the bag. Unless they have a couple of blockers, I think we're going to be good. 8,000 into us with their Alvida. They do not expect the Noronoro Beam Sword. I actually should have used that right away so I could have rested their 10 cost Buggy. That was a misplay on my part, but I don't think it matters too much. Whatever they swing with next, I can Noronoro Beam Sword one of their other big bodies or their blocker Cabbage. I could either rest their 10 cost Buggy here, or I could rest their Cabbage to set myself up nicely to go for game next turn. I am going to rest the 10 cost Buggy though, just to prevent that from swinging. I do think we have this game in the bag though, even if that one could swing.
6 Don left up for them. I don't even know if they're going to play this out just because we are in such a good position. They'd have to throw a bunch of Don on their leader to apply any pressure at us. 6,000. We'll just take that. I didn't feel like giving them a 2K. I want to keep the Uso Hachis in my hand so that I can rest their Cabbagey. They will use leader ability and cheat out the 6-cost Dracula Mihawk, which is not restable via my Uso Hachi, but it is not that big of a deal. I think we've got this game anyway this turn. We're going to rest their Cabbagey. And then just go swing really big with our Sanji, our Linlin, and then leader if we need it. 9,000 into 5,000. They're going to start the counter here, but then they just realize this game is over and they concede. GG, though. That one was really close. I feel like we had some rough draws in the beginning, so I didn't think we'd win, but we managed to pull it off. My poor Bon Clay just sat there the whole time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the game I got for you. I was honestly kind of surprised we clutched that at the end and ended up winning. I thought we were going to lose for a little bit there, but we did manage to come through with the victory. What are you thinking about this list? Do you like it better than OG Blue Purple Luffy list? Or is it more so just a gimmick? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you made it this far in the video, you are an absolute real one. Consider hitting that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.